Hi guys, well, it's the weekend, woohoo! Feels like a really long week for a short week. I don't know about you, but if you have a bank holiday and you've only got 4 days out of 5 at work, it feels like you've been there longer. I don't know how that works, I really don't. Anyway, it's the weekend, enough of that. So today's been a good day on plan. If you watched my previous video, you know I put £2.5 on last week, so I'm on a mission to not do that. Today was a nightmare at work. I had somebody leaving to go on maternity leave and somebody who just did some baking. So next to me, there were 3 tins of cakes, literally next to me. And I thought, right, I'm gonna have to hit this head on today. So I opened the tins first thing, just to see what was in there. Because in my head, I needed to know, because otherwise all day I'll be wondering, and the more you think about things, the more you want them, I find. So I opened the tin. Tin number 1 was coffee cakes. I'm allergic to coffee, yay! Next tin was vanilla sponge. So it was like a sponge with vanilla icing. I don't like that. And then the third tin was shortbread. I hate shortbread. So I was like, woohoo! And then the lady that was leaving on maternity leave, she had another array of goodies. So there was crisps, there was cakes, there was biscuits, there was cookies, everything. And thankfully I'd have to walk to where they were, although I do sometimes need to go that way. But again, I had a look and just said to her, do not let me touch this. She knows I'm on Slim World, and she said, oh, there are some little rolls there, only 5 cents each. I was like, no, I'm not having those, because tonight I'm having my sins for Slimline Wine. And if you just watched my previous video, you'll know that I love this wine, and you would have seen why I specifically love it. Now, in the video yesterday, I talked a lot about the grapes, and I showed you some pictures of the vineyard and where it's made. And I did point to you that actually that was because I got invited there last year. But what I didn't say, and I probably should have said, is I actually won that trip. So they didn't just give it to me for, you know, because they love me or anything else like that. I actually won it. And I thought actually I'd give you a little bit of a summary of how I won it, and how if they ever do that prize again, you could be one of those winners, because I have to say it was an absolutely amazing trip. Now before I get comfortable to do that with you guys, I need to open this because it's 7:30 and I think I deserve a glass of Slim. So just bear with me 2 seconds while I open this. Da, da, da. I haven't got my glasses on, so that's why I'm squinting, I'm sorry. You might see me do that quite a bit on my videos. I am blind as a bat close up. Right, okay. So how I open my wine, just so you know, also a tea towel to hand, and I just twist my cork like so. And I just hold it on top, and da da da, it doesn't overflow. Another thing I do as well, if you can do it, is just stick your hand underneath, because I find that stops it overflowing. If it does overflow, just stick your mouth under and drink it. Don't waste it. Being honest, it's only me that drinks this, so if my mouth's gone round the bottle, who cares? So I'm just going to pour myself a glass, so just bear with me guys. Right, so cheers. I'm going to pop this back in the fridge, and then should we go and get comfortable, and I'll talk to you about my winning prize. Right, I'm now more comfortable upstairs. Not well, the kitchen isn't comfortable, but I can sit and relax and drink my Slim and talk to you. So, back to my prize. As I said in my video last time, this wine came out in December 2017. And they did a massive Facebook campaign on it, and really got sort of their Facebook page out there. And a few of us really got engaged with that Facebook page. I'll be honest, I did. And one, because as I said last night, I was really intrigued to understand what this 0 sugar wine was all about. After I tasted it, I was hooked. I really love this product. And for me, if I like something, I am more than happy to promote it. You know, it's like most things in life, isn't it? If you've got any doubts about something, you're not going to let other people know about the product, because if they don't like it, you're going to feel, well, you've let them down. So for me, I'm the opposite as well then, if a product I love comes out. So Slimline Wine came out, I tried it, I loved it. And I drank, not a lot, when I say a lot, I did drink a lot of it, let's be honest. I drank a lot of it, but sensibly, okay? So at weekends, it would be my drink of choice. And whenever I had a drink of it or something to do with Slimline Wine, I promoted it on the Facebook page. And there was a group of us that did this as well. And they brought out this prize, which was to take, I think it was initially 4 people to Calamandra in the Piedmont region. I've only had a sip, honestly. Of Italy, to go and see where the wine was made, and they would pick it based on the people who supported them the most. So red rag to a bull a little bit with me, I suppose, because I was more happy to promote it and shout out and buy it. So put your money where your mouth is. You know, there's no point sitting there saying this product is amazing if you don't actually buy it and support the company. They're a new company at that time, and they deserve to grow. That's how I found at the time. So there's a few of us on there, and some of us actually got a bit of banter going, which was really good. They announced this prize, as I said, and originally it was for 4 people. And I remember I used to work away a lot with work, and they would do it on a Sunday night where they'd do the shout out as to who would win. So on this Sunday night I was actually away with work, and they announced that they were the winners, but they increased it to, I think it was about 8 people at that time. And I was sat there on the end of my bed in this hotel room watching the live Facebook page, and these names came out and mine didn't. And I have to say I was gutted, really, really gutted. Pleased with everybody else, but gutted. Now what they did, and I'll really, really am impressed with this, there was a lady that won, and not because she was a Facebook user, but because she bought it from the very beginning as well and really supported them. So she didn't use Facebook, and they wanted to be fair to her, which I think is actually really, really good from a business point of view, because she wasn't there on Facebook shouting out about them, but she was buying their product, and they felt that actually that was worthy of going on the trip, and I absolutely 100% agree. So the when I say the prize was for 8 people, it was for 4 winners, but you could take your partner with you. So gutted I wasn't chosen, but you know what, I was happy for everybody else, and I still believe in that product, so I still continued to support it, because you know, I'm not there just for the prize, I'm there for the duration with this Slimline Wine, to be honest with you, because 1, I like it, 2, it's 0 sugar, and 3, it helps me keep on track with my weight. So I continued with my support, buying the wine, doing shout outs on Facebook. I wrote a blog on it, it's on my website, and when the products came out, you know, I was there promoting it. And then one day, again, I was back in, I was in hotel rooms when they do this, I was in a hotel room and they were doing a cookery show where they had Chef Andy in, and he was cooking meals, and you know, they would pair really nicely with Slimline Wine, and sometimes Slimline Wine was in it. They did things like curries and things like that. So, and I, again, always watch those because it's about supporting them. This particular hotel where I was at, the reception wasn't great that day, and I was really struggling because it kept going out, and so I was sort of seeing it intermittently, but I couldn't really hear it all the time. So eventually I managed to get some Wi-Fi, so I was going to go back and watch it on catch up. In the meantime, I'd had a couple of texts, and I was like, well, Facebook messages, and I was like, oh, okay, saying, oh, Maria, well done. And I was like, okay. So when I watched it back, I was probably not that far behind the live, but it wasn't live, unfortunately, because of this blooming stupid Wi-Fi. they had actually said that because of my support, they wanted me to go too. So I was literally, oh my God, I could have cried. It was later on in the evening, my husband had gone to bed, I couldn't even tell him, I was so excited. Thankfully I was with another colleague from work, so bless her, she got bombarded with messages because we'd already gone back to our rooms, because I wanted to watch this live and things like that. So she, bless her, was getting all bombarded. So the next morning over breakfast, it was like, oh my God, can you believe it? It was so exciting. Couldn't wait to ring my husband as soon as he woke up the next morning for work. And it was just like, it was everything I could have dreamed of, just to win. To find out where this amazing wine had come from and to learn how it was made, for me was just, oh, I can't even tell you the excitement. You know, they say, you know, you always remember the day that so-and-so got shot, JF Kennedy or whatever, anybody that's, you know, the day that Princess Diana died and things like that. I remember where I was the day I heard I was going to Slimline Wine, and it was in a hotel in Leeds. So that was how much it meant to me. So anyway, got the trip and we got the dates through, and Slimline promised us an absolutely amazing trip, and it would just be amazing. They were true to their word. They booked the flights, and we flew from Heathrow, I think it was. Now I've got to say, I can't remember the plane, I'm sure it was Heathrow. And I had never met any of the people apart from Simon, who came to do my wine taster. Didn't know anybody else that was there. So there was a really nice guy called Matthew Tanner as well, who worked for the company then, and he was there as well. So we all met at the airport. Now during the months leading up, all of us that were going, we sort of got chatting, and then we got our own little group chat going, and it was almost like before we even got on the trip, we knew each other so well, apart from the lady who wasn't on Facebook. So when we all arrived at the airport, it was a case of looking in the queue for check-in to see if we recognised faces off Facebook and things like that, and it was great fun, like, oh, hi, I'm Maria, and whatever. Anyway, so we'll get on the flight and we're all quite excited. We don't know what to expect. We know we're going to see where the wine is and things, and we'd googled the hotel, which is the Chateau Zero, so we sort of knew what it would be like from the video, and Lola's come to join in as well, as usual. So yeah, so it was all really exciting. We get to the other side and there's this minibus waiting for us, and we all get in, and it's just like, oh, it's so exciting. And we drive up to the hotel. Now, can I just say, I've stayed in some really nice places, but this one was beautiful. Set in Calamandra, just up on the hillside. Didn't seem to be anything around but vineyards. The view was spectacular. Now let me just show you a bit of clip of the hotel and some footage I took when we first arrived. Not a bad hotel, is it? And our room was stunning. Now, before we even got to the room, okay, so we got there and there was this like wow factor to see the hotel and everything else. before we got there, we got off the bus and I heard this voice in the distance, sort of across the courtyard, and it was like, come over here, come and get a drink, come and get a drink. And sat in the chair was Paul Gidley. Now, I have to say, it's like saying, there's royalty. There is wine royalty sat there. And Paul, we didn't even know if Paul was going or anything at this point, and he was there. And he was sat there and he greeted us all, and waiting for us was a glass, obviously, of Slimline wine, but it was mixed with asphalt and sparkling water. So it's a really nice, refreshing drink to have immediately. So we all sat there and got to know each other a bit more and had a good chat and things like that. And then he said, right, okay, do you want to go and get changed? And we were having dinner in the hotel that night. So went back to the room, and in our room was a nice big bottle of Slimline wine for us to drink. I have to say I didn't open it at that point because from the time we'd arrived, actually this was flowing for us, which was amazing. So we sort of left that, went down to dinner. We had an amazing meal, and the restaurant, I don't know if you saw from the videos, overlooks some vineyards, which was, oh, so the view was amazing. We had this divine meal, which was accompanied, of course, with what? Slimline wine. They couldn't do enough for us in that hotel. They were absolutely amazing. So we also went off to bed, and we'd had quite a bit of this, I'm going to be honest, with no hangover the next morning at breakfast. Amazing. So the next day we then got the tour of the vineyard and how it's made. And I have to say, I was absolutely fascinated. I mean, the vineyard is beautiful. The grapes were just coming through. They were green at that point, obviously, because it was June and they harvest in September. So you're not going to see the big chunky grapes you'd expect to see now, but it was just rows and rows upon rows upon rows of grapes. And Paul explained to us that actually they'd grown lots of grapes, and some didn't work, some did work. And it was quite fascinating to know that you just can't put, you know, grapes in any ground and grow, and it's absolutely fine. There is an art to grape growing for wine. And you know, it was just so beautiful for me, and said, you know, knowing how much I drink this wine, to see it there in its raw form was just fantastic. And I said, the group of us, considering we had never met before, we had one passion, which was the wine, but we all got on absolutely amazingly well. We had a really good time. And Paul, the guy who came up with the business idea, was amazing. Matthew, hilarious, really, really funny guy, and Simon. You know, the three of them couldn't have done enough for us on the whole trip, I need to say. So we went to the vineyards. Here's some more pictures. I know you saw it yesterday's video, but here's a little go at the vineyard again. So yes, and then obviously it went back in to see it where it was made. And what was quite interesting is the way it comes in. And Dan, who is the head winemaker, explained to us how they make the wine. So how it comes in. He wouldn't give us his little secret about how he takes the sugar out, though, I have to say. That is carefully guarded. And he took us through the whole process, and even through to the bottling plant, and then showed us the massive warehouse where it's all stocked up waiting to be shipped to the UK, because it is only in the UK at the moment, guys. I'm really sorry. I know America and I know Canada and Australia, you would love it. I don't know what the plans are to get it to you. I know they'd probably love to be worldwide, but at the moment it's only UK. I did ask how is it shipped. Is it shipped through plane or boat? And it is boat, which makes sense because you get the pressure, I suppose, from an aeroplane. So it talks about the bottling and how the wine isn't touched when it's bottled, so it's all electronic. So you haven't got to worry about any, you know, sort of bits getting into your wine that shouldn't get into your wine. So they talked about that and about the corking and all that whole process, and that was just amazing. And then they took us to another little village not far from Kalamandra, which was absolutely beautiful, which had a stunning hot spring and was just a really, really pretty village. And then before that, actually, she forgot, they took us for lunch to this hilltop restaurant. Now, I have to say, I have never had so many courses of food in my life. It got to the point where it was like, no more food. It was just, oh, so much, but it was beautiful. It was a family-run business, homemade food. It was just divine, and the views, again, were spectacular. So here's a couple of views from that hotel, so, not hotel, but restaurant. It was lovely. Then we went to the village and had a wander around. That night, what did we do? Oh, that night, Dan's dad, so Dan the winemaker, had invited us up to his house to cook dinner for us, and he did us a barbecue, which was really nice, and he was, oh my God, he was so lovely. And of course, there was lots of Slim. It was just because his house was literally above the hotel, amazing views again. So, and he actually owns the hotel, or did own the hotel at some point. So the whole thing was, it was just, I don't know, you know when you go on holiday with your friends, your best friends and your family, it was like that. It was so nice. So it's a lovely meal and it was amazing. Next day, we got up, no hangovers by the way guys, can I just remind you of this, got up and then we went to another village and we went to see another winery, which was Botany. It's here. Let me show you this. Now that was fascinating, seeing how another wine producer produces its wine, but that was a very sweet one. We had a taster at the end, and I have to say, it wasn't a patch on Slimline Wine, but it was really interesting to see. And again, that was all provided by Slim. And then it was time to come home. But I have to say, guys, it was the most magical trip. If you want to be treated like a king or queen, you want to have as much Slimline Wine as you want, you need to drink this wine for one. And I don't just mean drink it and get drunk. What I mean is enjoy it. If you enjoy a good wine and you've tried Slim, then support it. Join their Facebook page, so the Slim Club, and post on there, you know, when you're drinking it, why you're drinking it. Is it a birthday? Is it a treat? Or is it just a sunny day? Or is it a barbecue? Tell your friends about it, you know. Put it out there how much you love this wine. Spread the word for them. And I'm sure if they do another prize, they will take note of those people who do that, because that's how we won it, because we actually loved the wine and we were actively promoting it, not because they paid us. It paid off in the end because we got this amazing trip. Now that trip was, you know, a long weekend and it was amazing. They don't pay me now, they don't give me any free wine now, but I'm still shouting out about it, and there's a reason, is because I love the wine so much. But you guys, you haven't been there yet, you haven't had the opportunity to experience what I've experienced, but you might one day. And that's the key, is if you love a product as much as I do, and I love Slimline, then tell people about it. You know, make it vocal on their Facebook page, and I promise you it'll be rewarded at some point in the future. And again, you won't know about these competitions if you're not on their Facebook page. So hopefully my video today has given you a bit of an insight to that trip. And hopefully you will say, I want to be on the next trip that they do. And if you do, don't forget, you need to be in it to win it. So log on to their Facebook page and interact with them. And actually, guys, let me know on my YouTube channel what you think of it as well, because that's all going to help. I'm sure they're going to read it. And engage. So guys, if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please do. And have a fabulous weekend. I'm now going to relax with my glass of Slim. I'm going to download this video and put it out there for you to see. And just have a fabulous weekend, because I am. Now I've got my Slim stock. So cheers, guys.